A major overhaul for Ontario's labour force just 1 year before the next election. The Wynne government here at Queen's Park is giving people on minimum wage a raise, the largest this province has ever seen.
In this era of uncertainty, we need to do more to protect our workers long before they retire.
It is a pre-election pitch for workers' votes. Among today's labour reform highlights, minimum wage will rise to $15 an hour by 2019, up from the current $11.40. Workers can have 10 days personal emergency leave, 2 of them paid. Equal pay for equal work, regardless of whether an employee is full or part-time. 3 weeks of paid vacation after 5 years' employment, that's up from 2 weeks, and fairer rules around scheduling. The Labour Minister tried to allay concerns these new rules will be bad for business. So back to my question, are you going to give small businesses a break? The answer is maybe?
I'm always open to talking to small business at the Ministry of Labour. We lean on them a lot. A lot of it's education.
1 year to go until the election, and this announcement sure looked like a campaign stop. It was carefully orchestrated with a hand-picked Liberal-friendly crowd that gave the Premier a standing ovation. Media was not allowed to ask the Premier any questions. Instead, softball queries were gently tossed from the crowd.
First of all, I want to honor the courage that you guys have.
It is a nightmare for NDP leader Andrea Horwath, who has been calling for an increase to the minimum wage for years. Remember, she lost the last election when Kathleen Wynne outmaneuvered her on the left. She's taken one of your planks.
The only time she cares about anything is when it has to do with her own political fortunes.
PC leader Patrick Brown was treading carefully, well aware the minimum wage increase alone impacts 1.6 million workers. In other words, voters. He wouldn't say if he would keep the increase in minimum wage if elected.
We're actually going to review it. We're going to make sure that where there are aspects that are worthy of support, like the emergency leave, that we will voice that. Where there are concerns or where there's not substantial analysis to back up the government's assertions, we'll point that out.
Now, as I mentioned in my story, reporters were not allowed to ask the Premier questions during that announcement. However, we were offered one-on-ones later this afternoon, right here actually at Queen's Park. Now, that's a tactical move. The Premier is a strong debater. She knows she has a better chance of getting her message across that way. Here's a little bit of that one-on-one interview. Are you outmaneuvering Andrea Horwath yet again with this move today?
I hope what we're doing is helping people to be able to look after themselves and to look after their families in the richest province in the country.
But you're also a strategic politician, and it seems that you are carefully orchestrating your re-election campaign, knowing that you have to work really hard this time around. I know you did every time, but with the polls. So everything seems very, very carefully strategic right now.
Well, again, you will do that analysis. The pundits will, they will weigh in. What I'm doing is working to respond to what people need in the province.